So last week, I had an awesome opportunity and ended up flying to another island, Puerto Rico, on a private jet and had it all paid for by Krispy Kreme. So let's go and delve into this. So on my island, we don't really have any chains. A lot of people miss them often. I've heard about people coming back just on regular flights from Puerto Rico and using it as a carry-on, grabbing a couple dozen Krispy Kreme or some Chick-fil-A sandwiches. Taco Bell sauce is popular, things that you can't get on my island. And so people that crave those things, a Chick-fil-A sandwich, you may make fun of it, but when you haven't seen a Chick-fil-A or eaten it for 2 years, it gets a little. I'm so mad I didn't have that when I went back to the States for 2 weeks. I forgot. And Chipotle. Oh, Chick-fil-A and Chipotle, I miss those. So some people miss the comforts of home, right? Little Krispy Kreme. Maybe they're from wherever those are from. I think they're from the Northeast. Chick-fil-A, from the South, but virtually anywhere. I mean, if In-N-Out was in Puerto Rico, I could do In-N-Out, Good Times. Well, if there's enough Coloradans, we would go nuts for some Good Times. Even, Qdoba or Quiznos. Ooh. Anyways, so I've seen posts of people bringing Krispy Kreme back and then selling them at a high price, right? You have the only 10 on the whole island, or 20, or however many you brought back. So Krispy Kreme, it costs $12 for the glazed a dozen there. So my buddy's a pilot, and he goes, "Hey man, I got a private plane. I think it's his like dad's friends. Somehow he's got a little hookup, but you can rent private jets here. Usually they're like $160 an hour. That includes gas and whatnot. And then the pilot, obviously, my friend is, so that saves some money. So all in all, he goes, yeah, hey, let's go over to Puerto Rico and let's golf for the day. So we'll leave at like 10 a.m., get back at like 5 or 6 p.m., go golf, have a fun day in Puerto Rico. It'll be roughly like 75 to $100 each for the plane to go there and come back. I'll fly it, and then we'll play golf, which is like $100 for golf, something like that. Heck yeah, man. We're going to go fly over on a private jet to Puerto Rico. That sounds awesome. So then a couple of days go by, and I start, oh yeah, dude, if we have a private in Puerto Rico, we should grab Chick-fil-A. We were supposed to go on a Saturday, so I was going to grab Chick-fil-A sandwiches. I don't know how much they cost, like $6 over there, maybe 7. I don't remember anymore. I don't even know. And then I would sell them probably $18 to $20. And then, if you get 20 of them, you make $10 each, that's $200. You golfed in Puerto Rico for free. And so my buddy was making fun of me, and he's like, man, you're going to do all this work and all that. And I was like, it's actually not going to be much work. I've already built reputation. I've built brand. I've built social media exposure. And I told him, I was like, dude, it's going to take me 2 posts and I'll sell all of them. So that in the end, we go over to Puerto Rico. We have fun. We're hanging out. We're doing this, doing that. And we're like, all right, it's like 5:36. Okay, time to fly home. We happen to be at a mall, so I just go and check. I'm like, well, let's see if there's a chance to do it pretty quickly. We obviously didn't have a car because we were on a plane, so we would have had an Uber. In fact, turns out in the mall that we were eating lunch or dinner or whatever, having a snack at, there's a Krispy Kreme downstairs. I was like, all right, guys, I'll be right back. I'm going to go grab as many Krispy Kremes as I can. So I went down there, and I was like, can I get 20 of them? And the lady just looks at me and goes, no. I was like, what? Like, what do you mean I can't? She's like, you have to go to the other store where they make them. I was like, no, I ain't got that time or that ability. I need 20 dozen right now. So then I ended up having to talk to the manager, and she didn't speak English, so I was speaking Spanish about trying to get 10 glazed, 10 assorted, mix and match, this and that. And in the end, I was like, just give me whatever you got. So finally convinced her to give me 20 dozen glazed donuts. So we're carrying like 3 huge bags of just donuts. And I was under an incorrect assumption. I thought there was 2 spaces on this private plane to put things. Turns out it was just 2 entrances in the same one. So I did not spatially calculate correct. So we had to have Krispy Kreme all over. We were like stuffed with Krispy Kreme. So in the future, I now have a good buddy. He's a good friend of mine. I've known him for like a year. We hang out all the time. He hadn't flown for a while. He's just getting back into it. But now I have a good friend. So we could go hop over to Puerto Rico, grab some Chick-fil-A after a full day of fun, come back, and to sell 20 Krispy Kremes, it took 3 posts. I lied. And so I got back from the plane. I went to the sports bar to watch Sunday Night Football with my buddy who was making fun of me the whole time. And I just sat there with Krispy Kreme open, and I was selling them by the donut, by the dozen. I think it was like $4 a donut, $3 a donut, something like that, or $30. I sold all of them for $30 a dozen. So it covered my plane costs, covered my day costs, everything. Right, that's about $20. It's about $8. No, it's $18 in profit times 20. So I made like $350 in profit, and I make it seem easy, obviously, because I do all this kinds of shit all the time. I love fucking unique, weird ways to make some money, and I do it mostly just to share it and just show people how easy it is. So obviously I make it look easy. We got on a plane, went over there, bought Krispy Kreme, came back, made 3 posts, sat and watched sports, and had my dinner and sold Krispy Kreme. But there's a lot more to it. You got to build, you got to have a network, you got to have a community, you got to have, reputation. People have to know who you are and know that you're not making it up, or et cetera, et cetera. And so now the best part, though, is I collected probably about 65 different phone numbers of people that are interested. So now next time I do it, I got 65 people I can send direct messages off to and text and just say, come in an hour with Krispy Kreme, and have them all meet me there. So now it'll be even easier now that I've built my list. I've built my audience. I've built my community. And so now, I can fly over to Puerto Rico virtually any day, have a day of fun, spend $200, $100 on the plane, $100 running around, $200 running around, knowing that I'm going to be able to profit $300 to $400 when I get back on Krispy Kreme or Chick-fil-A or Taco Bell sauce or Chick-fil-A sauce, or all the little things that people miss over here. And so that's how it works. You just got to know there's a demand. And I've known this for a while. I've thought about this. I first saw someone post about Krispy Kreme, and he's like, I'm in the parking lot he's at one of the strip malls. I'm at a parking lot. It's coming out of my trunk. I got like 12 dozen. Come and get them, whoever. I think he was selling them for $30 too. So people are just coming to get them. And then he posted it. I'm all sold out. And I was like, what a creative way. Good for him. Buying some Krispy Kreme on his flight over. So really, you do have to leave the airport. I was going to say, if they had a Krispy Kreme in the airport, every time I fly over, I would grab it. But I wonder what they do have at the airport. Fascinating. And if you have a long enough layover, you can Uber out, grab your Krispy Kreme, Uber back, take it through the security. They, depending on what airline, maybe just count as a personal item. They may not even count it as anything. Maybe you have to pay an extra $50. But you're flying on it anyway, so $50, even if it's $100 between Uber and extra bag fees, just to get 20 more dozen and then bring them over, totally worth it, because you're going to sell them for $300 to $600 depending on how many you get. So fascinating way that I will definitely be taking advantage of every time I have a layover in Puerto Rico on the way back to St. Thomas. All right, that's the story. I hope today is the best day of your life.